Hi everyone, today I am going to be colouring this very cute picture. It is from my new book, Matchstick Mouse, an autumn colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. Now I know it's not autumn, excuse me, but I was sent the book and it is gorgeous, and I was invited to do a buddy colour with June Colours, and she's going to do a video and I'm going to do a video, so that's quite fun, and we'll share our finished pictures on Instagram and things like that, so I thought it would be fun. And she picked this picture, which I think is adorable, so we're going to do this one. I'm going to make a start and I'll continue talking and explaining. I'm going to use my Castle Arts gold pencils. I had to carefully pick pencils today because of the heat. We've already seen record temperatures in the UK. It's coming just a tad more. There we go. I'm going to start with the Terracotta light and do this sort of in the wall, because I think this is like inside of a tree. I'm not going to do the window frame or these sort of overhanging branches, but I'm just going to do the wall in this colour and see how it looks really. So yes, I carefully chose pencils because of the heat. It's lunchtime on our hottest day of the year so far, and we've already in Surrey, which is nearest to London if you're not familiar with the UK, south, have already reached the hottest temperature ever recorded in the UK. Fortunately, oh, there's a fly in here. Anyway, fortunately where we are, it isn't quite so warm as that. We're not even forecast to reach a temperature as high as it's already reached there, which I'm feeling very grateful for. There is a little bit of breeze, but we've just shut it out at the minute, and we've just had lunch. Oh, that fly is getting on my wick, sorry. We've just had lunch and we've closed the house up because it's much hotter outside than it is in here, and the breeze is very warm. So I've put my boys are in the sitting room, which is actually the hottest room in the house, but their computers are in there, and I've just set them up with a fan and the curtains closed, so hopefully with it being darker in the room, I find it always just feels cooler. I'm just trying to figure out where the rest is. I think here is the rest of the edge. So I'm hoping they're feeling okay. I'll go and check on them when I finish this. I think they're okay. They've got water. I've got water. In here it's slightly cooler. I think the only reason for that is that the this recording office recording room, the little office, only has one small window, whereas the room they're in, the main room, I think that's wall, has two great big 3-panel French doors in it, one at each end of the room, and so they let in lots of heat. Okay, that's just my basic background. I want to add a bit more interest and colour to it. So I'm going to take my next darkest brown, which is the cinnamon. I'm just going to go around the edge and darken it a little bit. I think it'll just look a bit more interesting. So really I'm going to put a darker layer here and lighten it as we go. Oh, I was telling you about June Colours. Now she's on, I don't know if she's on Facebook, but she's on Instagram, and so you can go and have a look at her on there. I will share links in my description to her Facebook, and no, to her Instagram. The heat's getting to my brain. Gee, it's a good excuse, isn't it? Normally my brain's not good, but I've got no excuse today. I have. I share a link to her YouTube channel and to her Instagram, and if she's already, once she posts her video, I will share a link to that as well, so you can go and have a look, because she is really good. She usually, as far as I can tell, colours with Prismacolors, which I don't. So if you want to see Prismacolors, then that's really good. I am going to do some more Prismacolor work, and I should really do some videos. But it's too hot. I'm really worried they'll melt. It's so hot in this house. And in my ground floor, I know some of you don't do these measurements. I'm going to go back to my terracotta light and just blend this in and tidy it up a little bit. So I'm going to go over the top of what I've done and just blend it together. You notice I'm ignoring these. I'm going to go over those in a minute, so don't worry about those. Oh gosh, what was I saying? Oh yes, in my ground floor it was 24 degrees. and it felt like a fridge. It's definitely at least 5 degrees hotter up here. And we don't have air conditioning in the UK, and it sounds like, oh, poor you, but actually we rarely get days this hot. It's really not worth it, I don't think, you know, although more and more people are getting it, but we're usually okay, so it's fine. We sort of find it annoying and hot, and then you sort of get used to it, and we don't tend to get a prolonged heat wave like this. You know, we've only had this for, it started getting hot on Sunday, and it's Tuesday, and tomorrow's going to be cool again. So I'm just trying to concentrate on the fact that it's not lasting very long, and it's come over from Europe, and they are having a lot of problems there, so we're very lucky. Now, I don't really know if that looks like the inside of a tree. I definitely think this top bit could do with being a little bit darker. I think it looks a bit lighter than it actually is because of the lamp glare, because my lamp is positioned just above here, so this bit always looks paler at the top of my page just from the lamp. But there we go, I'm happy with that. But I'm going to do these sort of, it's like, you know, is he in a little hole in the ground and these are tree roots? I don't know. But we're going to use the permanent brown and do these. So yeah, I'm just counting my blessings really that we're not in Europe where there are wildfires. We've had a few fires lately, but I don't think they've been caused by the heat. I've been looking at the news, and the heat doesn't help, obviously. But and I think we even forecast rain tomorrow. Yes, I shall be out in that rain, running around, laughing my head off like a... I don't know what to say. Like a... yes. Deranged budgie? I don't know. But I'm hoping it's not going to be too muggy if it's going to be raining, but we'll see. We'll see. But also, I know in America there's been some really terrible heat, and they don't know when the end is coming. Whereas we're just so lucky that we know tomorrow, although it'll probably be pretty nasty tonight trying to sleep, but tomorrow it'll be fine. So I just have to think about that. And if I can't sleep tonight, yeah, I'll be cool tomorrow. So we'll be okay. I'll be able to have an afternoon nap. I don't nap in the afternoon. I can't nap in the day. Some people can. I'm going to do the window frame with this same brown. And like I did here without explaining, which was a bit naughty of me, I made it a little bit dark on the edges to give these a more rounded look. I'm going to do it here as well because I want them to make them look like they're sort of round branches. Obviously forming a window frame out of branches is quite clever to make them round. I know they do it with willow, don't they? They sort of can heat it up somehow and bend it, but I don't think you can do it for all wood. But anyway, we just carry on. It doesn't matter. It's a bit of fun. I haven't seen many mice wearing hats, let alone sitting drinking hot chocolate. I have actually, because it's so hot, I've been colouring a winter page. I got out my Rita Berman Walk Through the Seasons book and found a winter page with snow, and I thought this will help me feel cooler. So I've been colouring that. I haven't got round to doing any of the snow yet, but it's been fun. And as I work round the page, I realised that we've actually got Christmas stockings and Christmas tree and things like that. It's like, ooh, okay. But hey, Christmas in July and all that. I don't usually partake because I sort of think, oh, it's a bit strange. But it looks like I am this time. So there we go. So there, if you can see, I've done more layers here and here, and it just gives it that little rounded feel, which is what I was after. I'm just going to do that bit. There we go. Okay, I notice his curtains aren't matching, which is interesting. Now we've got these stones to do. Obviously I haven't coloured that one. I'm going to do them in quite a dark, I think a Mars Black might be a good one. Now Mars Black is an interesting colour. It's actually a very, very dark brown. And I think we can just use it on top of the colour we've done already. I've only got one other Mars Black, and that's in my Derwent Lightfast set, and I find it really useful. If you want to darken something but you don't want it black, then this is a sort of more browny colour. I think it's quite useful. So I think, are these stones in the soil, and is this supposed to be soil? And I coloured it completely the wrong colour. Oh wow, never mindy. It's quite warm, isn't it? And this is a sort of, this is an autumn picture, so I always think autumn needs to be warm. Now we have got, in the basket behind him, there's some wood, and I was wondering whether we should be colouring it the same colour as the wood here and here and here. It wouldn't necessarily be, good joke. It wouldn't necessarily be the same wood and the same colour, but I think it would just help to us to recognise that it's wood. I can do that end just lightly because that's not the bark. This is the bark colour, which is darker. I think this is a piece as well. Like that. And I'm going to colour that as a piece. I'm not sure if it is intended to be, but there we go. Okay, now we have the basket to do. I'm just going to have a, just going to shift my pencils around a bit so I can see what I've got. I think I will use this one. I want to use a different colour. This is the yellow ochre it's called, but it's very brown. And we'll use this for the basket. Now, I've got this basket weave pattern, so I think it's quite fun to use that. So I think we would have shadow here, and then it would be lighter on that bit. But I think it would sort of be darker underneath as well. So there and there, yeah? So make the layer up the colour there and then do a bit less along there like that. I've had to shut the door in here. I can feel it's getting a bit warmer, but I shall be careful. I've got my water. The window isn't open because it's warmer outside, so but I can always go down to the kitchen and cool off. I was speaking to my mum earlier. I am expecting a phone call as well, so I might have to go. I was speaking to my mum earlier, and she was saying it was how cool it was outside in the shade compared to in her house, but her house is really, really insulated, so it makes it very warm. I'm thinking actually that might be darker under there, mightn't it? There'd be a sort of shadow along here and then up here. But she's doing okay. She actually put her oven on for her lunch. She cooked. Whew. She said, "Oh, I had pizza. I put the oven on." Oh my goodness. Oh, you got to have a cooked meal. No, no, you don't. I think we're having cowboy caviar tonight, which apparently is trending on TikTok. But we're just going to make our own version. I haven't really looked at many recipes. We're just going to have black beans and sweet corn and tomatoes and cucumber and lettuce and things like that mixed up. The only thing is I don't have any, I think we'll have to put it with some couscous, and I'll have to make the couscous, so it might be a little bit, the couscous might be a bit warm. I'm thinking this is still the basket, so I'm just putting in a darker bit here. And here, like this. There we go. Let's have a look in the camera. The top bit's quite a lot lighter, but actually probably would be, because it would catch the light more. Here, I'm going to do it this colour because it would sort of be the top of the basket, wouldn't it? I think. Okay. Now I'm thinking it'd be quite fun to match the armchair to the curtains. Now we've got unmatching curtains, we've got a blanket, we've got a cover on the arm of the armchair, so it's all a little bit mix and match type going on, but I think it might be fun to sort of, you know, make them tone together even if they're a bit different. I was thinking of doing oranges, but we really don't have that many, and I think it might just blend into the wall. So should we do blues? I'm thinking we've got quite a good range of blues and purpley blues here, so I think I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is do the main armchair in the lightest blue and then put dark bits and bobs on it. So this is the Cobalt Turquoise, and I'm just going to do a light layer all over the armchair, and then we'll think about where it might be darker and lighter in a minute. I'm just going to get a layer down. I think that's just shadow there, or is it? I think it's just shadow. I think he's asleep. His little eyes are shut. Certainly looks very, very cosy. I can't think of anything I would hate to do more at this moment than sit in a warm, snuggly armchair with a cup of hot chocolate. No, thank you. I've just drunk an iced coffee. I just make them myself. If they're not fancy, I just make a little bit of see, I think this might be where the a footstool, or where the chair tips up to rest your feet. I just put a bit of instant coffee and dissolve it in a minimal amount of boiling water, and then put an extra generous amount of milk on it, so 3 or 4 ice blocks in there, and then some top up with cold water. It's not as nice as a shop bought one or anything like, as I say, is fancy, but it works. So we've got quite a pale base, and I'm going to grab slightly darker blue. This is the Cerulean Blue middle, to add in where I think it's going to be darker. So let's have a little look. So here definitely is marked as if there's shadow, so we're going to put that in. And here, look, can you see where we've got the lines? There and here. Now you could do shadow in grey, but I quite like just doing it in a different shade of the colour we're using. I find it can be nice. Oh, little beetle's asleep. And little worm with a little worm. How have I not noticed that? So cute. So I don't know if you can hear the chatter. My boys are chattering in the background, which is nice because I know they're okay. When they go quiet, you start to worry. Sometimes they're just busy. Just reminds me that neither of them have done any. My son's supposed to be writing his university application. He hasn't done it, but perhaps I'll do it with him tomorrow. And one of the boys has got a dentist appointment. So my husband's, I'm going to go back to the Cobalt Turquoise to just add a bit more in. Excuse me, I'm just going to extend some of these areas where it's darker and just tidy up everywhere so it looks neat. I'm thinking I want a bit of shadow under here, but maybe not as dark. So I can just pop a bit under like that. And a little bit around here. So yeah, he's got an emergency dentist. It's just his brace. A bit is broken off, it's nothing too serious. I remember having it happen loads of times with mine. And so he's got to go and get that fixed. My husband's taken the day off so he can take him, which is really good. He's got some holiday owing anyway, and he wants to take some. So and it's a cooler day tomorrow, so when they get back we're going to have a bit of time together, a bit of fun. Probably, usually we're just all sitting about. It means we can chatter, watch TV, things like that. I'm quite happy with that chair, just as it is, quite plain and simple. We've got these bits here where it's sewn up and the patches, which I'm going to work on next. And I think, well, this is quite a dark colour. Cobalt Blue Deep I'm going to use. I'm going to use it lightly for here, because we've got this bit that's marked up as shadow here, look. So I'm going to put an extra layer there. Like that. I notice he's got his hat on. I don't tend to wear my hats inside. But anyway, it's his sort of identifier, isn't it? He's got this cute hat. There we go. Now I think I'm going to use this blue in other places. Not the hat, we'll do that a different colour. But on these bits and the curtains, there's all going to be blue. I think we'll sort of tie it all in together. Oh, sorry, I've got an itchy eye. So I'm thinking maybe if I do the circles and triangles in this colour on this little bit. Do you think this is a rug? Oh, snuggling under a rug. No, thank you. Not today. I've actually still got socks on and I could do taking them off, but I've got a bit of a sore foot. I think I mentioned it the other day, but it's fine. Actually, I mentioned it in a video that I made that's not going to be going out for about a month, so it'll be all better by then. It's getting better by the day, but I've got a plaster on it. I cut my foot, so I've got a plaster on it, and so I thought I'd better have some socks on or else it'll just peel off. But it's fine. It's just a bit sore because it's grazed. It's not a good place to get a sore really, because you've got to walk on it. But yesterday I could only walk on my toes. Today I can walk properly. It's a lot better. So tomorrow I'm going to go out. I'll be able to put my shoes on and be fine. So it's just a lot better. I just needed a few days to get better. So that's that one. I'm going to do a little bit in the curtain on this one as well. This checkered curtain, I'm going to do... by the way I say curtain, apparently it's hilarious and it really shows my Gloucestershire accent. But apparently not as much as when I say the word girl or curl. But I don't know. It just sounds normal to me. There we go. Okay, let's grab another blue. I'm just working through the blues. I'm not really giving it too much thought. So this is an ultramarine, ultramarine light, and I'm going to do the background of this, I think. I'm doing a little circular movement because I want it to be quite even. I don't really know what it is, to be honest. I thought it was a cover on the arm of the chair, but this is the arm of the chair, so I don't really know. I've got no idea. But it's going to be blue, whatever it is. And as I say, just a little gentle circular movement to keep, and then you keep the colour fairly even. I'm trying to think if I want it to not be even. But I think it's fine. I should leave it like that. And we'll do a bit in one of the curtains. Hey, should we do the tie backs? Should we do the tie backs matching? I want to do a bit more here and less towards the middle, and then a bit more here, because it would sort of be bunched up in the middle, so I think it would be lighter there. That's my thought anyway, like that. Okay, next we have a primary blue. Okay. Ooh, my pencils are all getting in my way. Hold on, there we go. I think I do the background or the dots? The background. I'm going to keep this fairly light, it'll be easier, because if I do it dark I might need to do a few layers. Just what I would suggest is do it in a pressure that is easiest for you to keep an even tone, because I want it fairly even. We may change that in a minute, but I think getting an even one down first makes life easier. If you can't, don't worry, it's okay. We're all learning all the time. Someone said the other day how it's brilliant that we learn all the time. It's so good for us. It's so true. I'm going to make that edge a little darker, I think. I feel that it would be darker there. I don't know why. And maybe each side of these sort of creases. I'm just going to ignore those dots. Maybe behind that crease there. And on that edge. Maybe under there. Okay, and I'm also going to use this for these. I'm going to press a bit harder with this, and then it looks like it's a different shade of blue, which I think is quite fun. Just checking you can see. I had a feeling I might have knocked it out of shot. I know what I'm like. I was watching one of my old videos the other day, and I was colouring massively out of shot. Oops. I'm not really any better than I was then, though. I do now. Okay, we've got a Cerulean Blue now, and I'm going to use it for this. Remember we used the Cerulean Blue middle for some of this, so it's going to sort of tie in. And I'm going to press reasonably hard so that it looks a different colour. Now I'm not going to do Mouse's hat blue, because I need him to stand out. You know, his hat will fade into the chair otherwise, so we need to think about what colour to do that in a colour which will work with the blue but stand out. So that's, and we're wanting to sort of pop, so I'm thinking red could be a good colour. That's probably what I'll do, but I'll have a think in a minute. Now, where we've got these creases here, look, we need to put another layer in. I'm thinking under there and around here where we've got these lines. Like that. Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm going to do these squares with this one. I'm going to press particularly hard. It could have worked with white, you know, with blue and white, but it's always risky with white, leaving things white, because it looks like you've forgotten to colour it, as I've said many times before. There we go. Now we've got an ultramarine, it's quite a dark blue, and I'm going to use it for these dots. I'm going to try and make sure it goes down quite hard as well, so that they stand out. I can hear my son talking really loudly. I don't know if you can hear him. He's got a really deep voice. And it's interesting, people say he sounds like his dad, because his dad's got a very deep, loud voice that carries a lot. It's quite funny. Okay, we've sort of done all the blue, I think. I mean, I could do his mug blue, but I think that would just be a bit over the top. You wouldn't really match your china in with you. Well, maybe you would. I don't know. Anyway. Let's do the hat. As I said, I'm going to do red. Just having a look at the reds, because in this set of gold, there isn't really a proper red. There's a red ochre, which is a bit orangey, and actually it might work. It might be better than a pinky red, because we're against this sort of orangey background. So I'm going to try it, and if it isn't quite the right colour, I shall go over it. I can't find it. Is that it? No. Oh, there it is. Red ochre. You can see it's a little bit orangey. We're going to give it a try. So what I like to do with the hat, whenever I do a Matchstick Mouse hat, is I do a layer all over in a fairly even tone to start with. And while I'm doing it, I'm thinking about where is it going to be darker and lighter. We can see on this bit it's already marked for us to tell us it's going to be a bit darker, so that's a good clue. So I'm quite useful. Now we've got these little bits here which are sort of patches. We're going to leave those. We can do those in a different colour. Makes it look fun. Okay, so here where it's marked darker, we'll put quite a bit of colour down. Oops, I've gone onto his face. Sorry. Okay, and then I'm thinking under the ear here it's going to be a bit darker. Now we need to think about the light, where the light would fall. It's more likely to fall on the top of the hat, but also we've got a fold in the hat. I'll show you in a minute. So I'm just taking a bit more colour up and trying to fade it towards the top like that. But here, look, it dips in, so I'm thinking maybe it'd be a little bit darker up here, just where it dips, and then we can fade that either side. Like that. And then we need to take that a little bit darker up there, I'm thinking. Maybe it might be a bit of a line going up from that bit. Now this is the brim, I think might be a bit of a slightly different colour to the top, but I'm going to put in some shadow here. It would just be shadowed because I think it's nearer the bottom. And then a bit along the ear. And then a bit lighter as we go up here. But under worm, there might be a bit of a shadow around worm. Yeah, again, you could do your shadow in a black or a brown, but I quite like to do it in the colour that I'm using, or in a similar colour. Let's have a look. I think that's worked. Okay, now Mousy. Now, hang on, I'm just going to grab my eraser and just, oops, take out where I've gone over the edge a little bit. There we go. Now, it's not brilliant, but it will do. the ear and the feet and the nose I like to do in a sort of pinky peachy colour. And we do have what's this one called, a light peach, which I think I'm going to use. Now sometimes animals, I look at animals' ears and sometimes they look sort of fleshy as if they've got no fur. You know, there's sort of flesh with no fur type look, which is what I'm trying to achieve here. Sometimes they look, they've got, like with ears, they might have hair in, and so it's actually darker inside the ear than it is on the rest of the fur. But he would have fur on top of his foot. Now is that his hand or is that the handle? What do you reckon? I'm going to do it's the handle. Nose. So you could do the nose in black. I think I'm going to, because that's too close to this. So I'm going to go over that in black. But we'll do that in a minute. Right, let's do the fur. Now we could do brown. I'm going to use my eraser to take that back a bit. We could do brown, but we've got brown walls, or you know, ochre. So what that would mean is that we would have to do a really dark brown, like these logs or the window frame, or we could do grey. I'm thinking I'm going to do dark brown, as I think it's a cozier, more autumnal colour. So I'm going to grab this burnt umber and do most of the fur with this. I'm going to start here on the ear. It's a bit that I often forget. So I think this bit would be a little bit darker, and then it would get a little bit lighter towards the top, like that. Now, the top of the nose, again, I think it would be quite light on the top. But under the hat there'd be some shadow in there. But then I'm going to just try and keep that bit a little bit lighter. Now here we have a little furry bit coming down here. You can use a stroke like this because it's fur, but I'm thinking it's going to be a bit darker under here, like that, and it gives us a bit of shape. Let's take that fur down there. Now here we've got the back of the arm, so if we put a bit of shadow in there, the arm will stand out more, hopefully. Can go across now. So you try and do directional colouring with fur because it helps to emphasise it. So again, just go around there, and here, look, put a dark bit in there, and then you'll be able to, and here, and then you'll see where the arm is more easily. Go down the legs. Is that chair? Is that leg? Let me just colour that bit in and have a think. I think that's belly, isn't it? That's his belly. So I'm going to do these bits in the brown. So you notice I'm missing bits because I'm going to do a lighter colour for some of it. There we go. I think that's worked okay. I'm just going to try and even it out a bit, make it look a bit more furry, lots of sort of stripy movements. There we go. Now, I like to do the face and the belly in a very slightly lighter colour. What have we got? What's that? No, that's a sepia. I think it'll be too red. I'm going to grab one of the colours I've used already and hope that it's just going to work. I'm going to use the cinnamon. Okay, we use that in a bit of the wall, but we'll just use it quite lightly. See how we go with it. You might want to go lighter than this, a sort of beige or something. There isn't one in the set, but I think this will be okay. It's just nice to have a slightly different colour. I'm putting it on quite lightly. as well. We're going to want some shadow under the hat. A bit under the chin. You could draw on a little rosy cheek if you want to. I'm not going to do that. I probably mess it up. A little bit of shadow under the cup. Okay. Now we have the worm and the mug, and then we're... Oh, this bit of blanket, look, it's not looking brilliant. I'm trying to remember which colour I used for it. I think it might have been the Cobalt Blue Deep. And I'm just going to colour in that bit. I don't think that is the right colour, but never mind, it just looks better now. Mug. Now I'm thinking maybe we could go for a more pinky red. For the mug. Cherry pink I think is the way to go. Or do we have an Indian red or anything like that? No. So here is the cherry pink. It's the biggest problem I think with this set is the lack of reds. So around here and around here, I'm assuming I'm leaving a little bit of white there. I'm assuming that there are more reds in the 120 set. I want it to be darker at the bottom. I'm going to try and leave those to make them look like dots. I'm thinking white dots on the mug. I don't know whether that's how they're supposed to be, but it doesn't matter, does it? We do it how we want to, our picture. There we go. I'm going to have to go over that a bit, I think, with some white. It might not work. No, it won't. It'll go pink. I'll just leave it. I can hear an alarm. It's just what you want on a really hot day. Is we haven't done these two pieces. I was thinking maybe a brown might work for those. I am just going to grab that red ochre actually, and just those gaps are completely void of all colour. Just put a bit there. The sepia, that might work. It's usually, sepia can be a reddish brown, so I'm thinking that might work. Those two bits. There we go. Now we've got worm. Now I always think worm could be a sort of peachy colour. So I'm going to use the light peach that we've already used for the ear to do worm. But he may not stand out very well from the background. Look at him curled up asleep. I'm going to use another colour just to try and give some depth. What colour's that? Yeah, I'm going to use the Chinese orange. Now I'm going to use it very sparingly. I'm going to put a little bit in here. I don't know if you can see, just to create a shadow. A bit along there. On the bottom, just so that he looks a bit more three-dimensional. There we go. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, out of the window we have stars and stars. So I brought through some special pens to do stars. These are the Jelly Roll Metallics. Now we have quite a bright yellow, or we have a gold. I'm going to use the bright yellow and the silver, I think, on these. So I'll tell you the numbers in case you don't have the pack in a minute. So this is it's called Jelly Roll Metallic. Sakura is the brand, and this is #551. I will put links to these in the description, as I do with everything that I use, or I try to remember. If I forget, just drop me a message. Put it in the comments of the video and just say, oh, do you have the link for this? My links are mainly affiliate links, which means that I get some commission on sales if you buy something using a link on my description. Now, that doesn't mean that you pay more money. This is another metallic pen, and its one is number 553. There's a little hashtag code there. and I'm going to do the dots in this. Now, it doesn't mean you pay more, but what it does mean is that because I'm an affiliate of particular places such as Amazon, then I'm more likely to recommend them than anyone else because, you know, so there might be cheaper ones available elsewhere. So I have to warn you. I'm really tempted to do some more dots out of the window in a different colour, and I don't know why. I just feel like I want to do some dots in, what have I got? Blue. I can't do blue dots. That would look funny. I just want to, I don't know, I just want to play with my pens. I better stop. So anyway, they are affiliate links, which means I make a little bit of commission if you buy something using my link. And if you, even if you're going to Amazon to buy something else, if you use my link and then buy something else, not the thing that you, I can still sometimes get some money, which is all really nice because it helps me to buy things like sharpeners, rubbers, cameras, hard drives, all the stuff that I have to buy. The exciting stuff I tend to get bought, which is absolutely amazing, or I ask for it for my birthday, but all the dull stuff, no one wants to buy me a hard drive, it's boring. So I've just spotted these Stickles. I've got this one, look. This is a diamond black. I'm going to use it on the sky. So I just tempted. So these, because I was talking about being sent stuff, I was sent these as a gift. So I'm just going to gently spread them across the black bit. I probably should have done this before I did the dots, but I can always put the dots on after, back on. I don't know how well this is going to work. We'll find out, won't we? I don't usually use Stickles like this. I'm going to show you, I actually made a video yesterday where I used them in the way that I tend to normally use them, and I am going to make one with a background where I use them so you can see how I use them for that. When I say for a background, I don't cover the whole background in Stickles, that would be a bit much, but I use them within a background. But I haven't made that video yet, but those aren't coming out till August, so this will give you, it's nice to use some Stickles just because I'm in the mood for wanting some sparkle. The thing with Stickles is they're quite they are thick, so they dry in a sort of lump, for want of a better word, which means that you have to try and spread them, because if you want to colour on the back, you've got a lump. It's not too bad in a single-sided book like this, but you just have to be aware. But the method I use normally means that you don't get a lump, because I sort of spread them using a different method. I'm being very secretive, aren't I? I might show you in a minute, because I'm going to spread these a bit. I'll show you. It's very basic. I use a cosmetic tipped cotton bud. You can use a Q-tip, but these have got a nice pointy end, so I find them a little bit easier. And I just dab them about a bit. It's really technical. And then it just pushes down the big areas, so you don't get a big splodge of glue, and or a big splodge of Stickles. You can spread them out into the area that you want. These are starting to dry, so it might not work too well. So as I say, it'd probably be sensible to do this before you do the other pen, but you know, I just had the idea because I was saying about getting people sending me stuff, and someone had sent me these. So there we go. Now I've got a dirty thing to put somewhere. Hang on, there we go. And I'm going to show you the sparkle in the light, because you may not be able to see it at all, but they are so sparkly. Look at that. I don't know how well can you see that? Can you see it well? I hope so. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. I think it's really cool. I know sky doesn't sparkle, but why not? Why can't we have a sparkly sky? So there is our happy little mouse having a very happy snoozle in his very cosy chair which would be lovely right now, but just not with a hot chocolate or a warm fire or any of those things. But thank you for watching. I'm going to go now, but that's been a lot of fun. I really had fun with that challenge, so that was good. And check out June's Instagram and her YouTube channel. She does some beautiful colouring, so I'm sure you'll love it. So as I do, she does a very different style to me, so it might just be something different for you to have a go at. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Try and keep cool. Today is a bit cooler for us in the UK, but for you guys elsewhere it may not be the case, but I'm feeling for you. Anyway, happy colouring.